Welcome to AI Brief, episode 158. This is your deep dive into the latest currents shaping the world of artificial intelligence and robotics.
Today, we're going to unpack a whole range of updates. It really shows just how broad AI's impact is becoming.
We've got quite a list. A new supercomputer, a huge Microsoft deal, some fascinating research on AI and social smarts.
And then a rundown of robotics news and some AI tools you might find useful. Lots to cover.
All right, let's get into the source material. First up, something pretty big in scientific computing. The U.S. Department of Energy just unveiled a new AI supercomputer.
That's right. It's called Doudna, named after Jennifer Doudna, the Nobel laureate for CRISPR gene editing.
Okay. And this machine, it's going live in 2026 at Lawrence Berkeley National Lab.
Exactly. Its main job is really to push AI-driven science forward. Think genomics, physics, chemistry, those kinds of areas.
And the tech behind it, what's under the hood?
Well, they're using Dell's direct liquid-cooled servers and, importantly, NVIDIA's next-gen Vera Rubin platform. So, cutting-edge stuff.
Now, here's what caught my eye. The performance. They're talking over 10 times the power of Perlmutter, its predecessor.
Right, and critically, while only using maybe double or triple the energy, that efficiency jump is really key for these massive simulations.
Makes sense. Who gets to use this power?
It's aimed at supporting around 11,000 researchers. So it's for advancing work in fusion energy, materials science, even astronomy and drug discovery. A pretty wide net.
The source material also mentions its role in national security, specifically related to the U.S. nuclear arsenal.
It does. So looking at the big picture, this is a major investment. It's about keeping the U.S. the forefront of AI and high-performance computing, essentially giving scientists incredibly powerful tools for complex analysis. It could really speed up discoveries.
Okay, let's shift from pure science to the world of finance. Microsoft just landed a massive deal with Barclays.
Yeah, this one's pretty significant. Barclays is buying 100,000 licenses for Microsoft's Copilot AI assistants.
100,000, wow. That's one of the biggest enterprise AI rollouts we've heard about, surely.
It really underscores Barclays' commitment to using AI for, efficiency and innovation. They plan to use Copilot everywhere: customer service, compliance, internal stuff.
And for Microsoft, this is obviously a huge win. Another major enterprise client jumping on the Copilot bandwagon.
Absolutely. It just strengthens their position in the enterprise AI market. And for the financial industry, it's another strong signal.
A signal that AI adoption is accelerating.
Precisely. Banks need to adopt these tools to stay competitive, improve how they operate, and meet what customers expect now. It sets a precedent.
Okay, next topic. This one's more foundational research looking at how AI, specifically LLMs like GPT-4, handle social situations.
Yes, researchers in Germany use behavioral game theory. What they found is, well, it's interesting. GPT-4 is great at logic, as we know.
But not so great at the social stuff.
Exactly. Things like trust and cooperation. In these game scenarios, it struggled when it wasn't just about pure logic or self-interest. Teamwork was tricky for it.
So what did the researchers do about that?
They introduced this technique called social chain of thought. SCOT for shorting. Basically, they prompted the AI to think about the other player's perspectives first.
Just prompting it to consider others.
Yeah, explicitly. And it made a huge difference. The AI became much better at cooperating, adapting its behavior. It acted more, human-like in those social games.
That has some really interesting implications, doesn't it? Especially for applications where interaction matters.
Definitely. Think about healthcare, mental health support, managing chronic diseases, helping the elderly, areas where trust and empathy are crucial. Enhancing AI's social reasoning could be really beneficial there.
So the takeaway is we need to build social intelligence into AI, not just logical smarts, for it to work well with people in the real world, making it more trustworthy, maybe even empathetic.
That seems to be the key point. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Let's do a quick run through some other updates in AI and robotics. Kind of a rapid-fire round.
Sounds good. I see Hugging Face is getting into hardware with humanoid robots.
Yeah, and surprisingly affordable ones. They've got Hope JR, a full-size prototype, aiming for just $3,000. It walks, moves its arms, 66 movements.
$3,000 for a full-size humanoid. That's wow. When's it coming?
Targeting later this year. And they also have a tiny desktop one, Reachy Mini, for like $250, $300. It moves its head, talks, listens, really pushing accessible open source robotics.
And they're not the only ones looking at humanoids. UB Tech is aiming for the home market too.
Right. They're launching a $20,000 home humanoid later this year. Puts them in competition with Tesla's Optimus potentially.
UB Tech usually does industrial robots, right? So this is a pivot.
It is. They plan to ship 1,000 units this year. Having two big players aiming for that $20 gay-home market, it suggests things might be starting to move towards the mainstream, even if it's early days.
Okay, what else? Robot kickboxing. Seriously.
Happened in China, the world's first, apparently. Featured 4 teleoperated Unitree G1 robots.
Teleoperated, so not fully autonomous fighting yet. Any highlights?
Well, one called the AI Strategist apparently tripped while celebrating too early. But it got back up and won the match and the tournament. Kind of shows the focus on robotic exhibitions there.
Moving on to logistics. Arrive AI got funding.
Yep, $40 million. They're building an autonomous delivery network using smart mailboxes. The idea is these mailboxes can accept packages from both drones and ground robots.
Interesting. And Uber's self-driving plans in the UK.
The fleet is apparently ready, but they're hitting regulatory delays. Looks like rollout won't be until 2027 now, pushed back from 2026.
Right. Regulation always a factor. One more robotics item.
Yes, River, a Zurich startup launching these dog-like delivery robots in Austin. It's a pilot program.
What do the dog bots do?
They carry packages the last few feet, basically from delivery vans, like VHOs, right to the customer's doorstep. Last-mile delivery assistance.
Okay, that covers the robotics updates. Now let's quickly hit some trending AI tools that people might find useful.
Good idea. First, Tice. If you deal with lots of documents, it's an AI agent for instant editing, asking questions about the docs, even updating paperwork automatically.
Sounds handy. What about conversational AI?
Cape Privacy has a platform. There's Cape Chat for interacting with LLMs more intuitively, and Cape API for integrating data securely, including redaction.
For creative tasks.
Designs.ai. It's an AI platform to help you create logos, videos, banners, mock-ups, that sort of thing quickly, and edit them.
Okay. And ShedX. That one sounds like it's for sales.
Yeah, it tries to turn your website into an AI sales rep, basically. Qualifying leads, booking meetings, all automatically.
Photo editing, there's always a need for that.
Photoroom is popular. AI-powered tool focused on removing backgrounds and generally enhancing photos easily.
Jog AI 3.0, what's its angle?
It uses lifelike AI models to turn product images into, well, what they call scroll-stopping ads, aiming for better engagement on social media.
And finally, Browse AI.
That one's about data extraction. It lets businesses train robots, with no code, to scrape data from different websites. Simplifies getting web data.
So quite a range we covered today, from that massive Doudna supercomputer and the big Barclays AI deal.
All the way to research on AI social skills, new robots hitting the market, and those practical productivity tools.
It really drives home how AI is moving forward on so many different levels at once. It makes you think.
Yeah, when you consider all these pieces, the huge computing power, the affordable robots, AI learning social cues, how do you see these things starting to connect?
How might they change your daily life or your work in the next few years? It's something to mull over.
Absolutely. We really encourage you to follow AI Brief wherever you get your podcasts to stay up to date on future deep dives like this one.
And if you found this useful, please do share it with friends or colleagues who might also find it valuable. Thanks for joining us.